In this episode, we have to make upper mounts for my coilovers in my 69 GTO by using a free app on your phone to 3D scan the area, import that image into free 3D modeling software, and then submit the brackets that we make in 3D to my favorite prototyping house called SendCutSend, where they'll CNC cut 1/4-inch steel that we get to weld together and make a super strong support. Let's go. Welcome back to FastMonty's Garage. Today we have to re-explore how to mount my coilovers, because if you've been following along my mini tub project, we cut out the spring perches from my GMA body and we have to come up with new brackets because my coilovers from Global West mount perfectly upright through the spring perch. So we have to come up with a new bracket to mount from our super strong ABC Performance cross brace to the main cross brace in the frame to mount the coilovers. And as I mentioned, we're going to do it with a free or next to free app on my phone to 3D image that area, import that file into CAD using Onshape, model up our brackets, and send them to my favorite prototyping house called SendCutSend. And then the hardest part of the project, we wait until they come back, make sure they fit, obviously weld them up, paint them, and we will be done with the welding of the rear end, because I want to get my 335 tires to fit, and it's been a long journey since I've driven the car, and I know most of you are anxiously waiting to see how to measure wheels, put the brakes in, etc. So those are future episodes, so subscribe, click that bell if you haven't done so already. Now, if I've ever helped you out, consider getting a hat or a shirt. These are brand new. Love them. Or click that join button. All those means of helping the channel, those proceeds go to buying more parts so I can make more mistakes and you guys learn faster. Speaking of learning faster, we also implemented a shop clock. So let's go ahead and start the clock, get under the car, and show you what we need to do to get this project rolling. You guys recall before I cut this out, I traced the location of that center coilover location. One of the issues with scanning, most scanners don't like black surfaces like this and shiny, and this is black and shiny, so I'm probably have to tape it up. This may come through as an image, but just to add another layer of surface, I'm gonna go ahead and tape a washer up here, and so we're perfectly centered, and so when we do our surfacing tool or our imaging, we'll be able to see that washer at a minimum, and that's where that location is. So I'm gonna go ahead and blue tape the rest of the black shiny area, and I'll probably add another dimension just to make sure we're at the perfect scale when we import it into the CAD software. Here's what I came up with. I went ahead and taped all my important edges. I want to mount to this edge. I think I also want to weld to this surface, and I also definitely want to weld up in this area. So I taped all those important edges, and I came up with this idea. Why not just use a razor blade? Because it's also 3D, it's got a profile and a finite measurement. We can measure that and then compare it in CAD to make sure everything comes across in the right scale. So here we go, let's get to scanning. Now, before we start taking pictures here, I want to be crystal clear with you guys. There are several ways you can scan an area, and I've done this already on a prior project. You guys might have seen it when I did the oil filter bracket. This one's a little bit more complicated because we have specific points we have to weld to, and I went ahead and tried the professional version of the last app I used, and it really didn't come out that well. I also tried a legit 3D scanner. It costs like $700. That too did not work out very well. So being crystal clear with you guys, I found another app. It's called Polycam. I'll leave a link below. You can scan to your heart's content, but if you want to download a file, you can do a free trial of the app, and you have a 5-day free trial and you can download a file. That's actually what I did. Or you can, if you like doing 3D printing, it's $100 a year membership, and you can download as many files as you want. Now the beauty of this particular app is you can take up to 2,000 images per download. So that's exactly what we do here. Is we're just going to go around and take pictures of many angles as we can get. It will stitch those pictures together and give us a 3D image, and it's just a surface. There's no thickness to that layer, and then we'll take that and put it into CAD. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and take a whole bunch of pictures. Where is the go button? Oh, it's the plus sign. Duh. Okay, so you just go around, take pictures, as many angles as you can get. And once you get up to, say, 200 images, you can actually go to 2,000, which is crazy. You can go ahead and upload it, and you pick your file type. I want an object file, so OBJ works the best. I tried STL, just stereolithography. It didn't come out as nice, so OBJ worked best for me. So you go ahead and upload that, and it comes to look like this. This will actually blow your mind. There's that area, there's the piece of tape with the razor blade, and you can spin it around. That's crazy, right? So let's go ahead and jump to Onshape and show you what to do next. Welcome to Onshape. This is our solid modeling tool that I'm using. It's actually a cloud-based software. It's less restrictive on your memory of your computer. And they have a free license for hobbyists, just like us. So this is what the image looks like when we import it, and it's just a shell. And you have to transform the dimensions here. That's why we put the razor blade, remember that? And you can see the tape thickness, and we know the tape thickness, and you can set your ratio for transform. That's the tool I used, and we can even see that washer. I mean, how cool is that? So the plan here is I want to create a bracket that goes from this edge all the way to our support over here. You can see the side of the support, and we'll probably utilize some of the side frame here because that's a flat surface to weld to, and our load is going straight through, basically going up, right? So I want to make a bracket. And the first thing you need to do in solid modeling is you need to establish a plane to make an extrusion from, basically. So find a flat area, create a plane, and I had to play with this for a little while, and I'll show you what I came up with here. Here we go, is what I came up with, and it took an hour or so to play with, and I created the bore for the top of the strut, not strut, shock, and tapped holes for our support. My train of thought here is, after mimicking up the coilover, I needed the output of the reservoir to come over and hopefully mount underneath the frame somewhere over here. But made some relief for an existing rivet, but that's 98% there, I'd say. And we can weld in this area, we can weld up here. And to add another support, why don't we add a gusset like that? So that'll give us some strength. And I think we're good with this side. Now the beauty of solid modeling is we can create a mirror image like that. So now we have 4 pieces, which is pretty awesome. Now our next step here, we need to send these parts to get cut, bent, etc. But SendCutSend requires what they call a flat file. Now most solid modeling systems like this can generate a flat file, which means it's basically a flat piece of sheet metal. Check that out. With bend radiuses and everything. Now take note, the angles here are about 68 degrees. So we can export this file flat and import it into SendCutSend's system to get these parts created. So let's go do that. So under tapping, it's automatically selected our 3 holes. So we have to pick what thread we want. It's 5/16 18. And we are good. On the 1.5, we don't want any. So we're done. So 2 taps, there's our price. We can hit next. You can actually pick powder coating, which is really neat. We did it on the last project, and you can even have them plated. We don't need any plating because we're going to weld and paint on our own. Add to cart. We do the same process to all 4 parts. So we're going to, the 3 other parts, get our total and get it shipped. The hardest part now is waiting for it. Here we go. All right, the hardest part is almost over. It has been 6 days. Remember, we sent the order in on a Tuesday. It's now Monday the following week. I am super excited. I'm also nervous. Obviously, I mean, I want it to fit the first time, right? So let's cut it open, see what's up. Oh yeah, little sticker, Sour Patch Kids. Look at this. Look at that. How bitchin' is that? Oh yes. All right, all right. Okay, calm down. Let me take one of these out. I think it's this one is the right side. Oh, that is so beefy. Show you guys up close. How cool is that? All right, so we also had those tapped holes. Where's my test screw? Oh, yes, 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 yes. Oh, bitchin'. Oh my God, how exciting. Yeah, sorry, it's the little things in life, guys and girls. Yep, both holes work great. That's a 5/16 18, remember? So that's bitchin'. Let's see how the cross support or the little gusset fits. Just setting up a little camera, add it to Instagram, right? But let me get this thing out of here. Okay, there it is. Let's see how she fits. Oh my God. Look at that. I know, I know, I know. Check it out. Freaking perfect. So the plan here, obviously I'm gonna mock this up first, but we can tack this in as is while it's on the bench, then put it up in the car, and then we'll fully weld everything. But man, I'm excited. Let's go mock it up. Okay, let's see. Oh, hell to the yes. Look at that. That is awesome. Okay, right here, I knew this was gonna happen, but there's a little edge that comes down. It's like part of the lower bracket that we cut off. I need to cut that off so it's flush. That's the only thing getting in the way. I knew that was going to get in the way, so I just have to cut that off with a cutoff wheel. But we are good because it's flat all the way along there. And then this recess is for a little rivet here that's still existing, and that's lining up perfectly. But everything is coming together, boys and girls. I mean, look at that. After I trim that piece, we can weld as the plan was. Here, 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 along the top here, and we are perfectly lined up with the washer. Hey-o! Let's go! All right, I got the support plate welded in. I decided to weld it while it's on the bench, and it looks pretty killer. The reason it has this shade of grayness to it is I also coated it in Piclex 20, which is phosphoric acid. You can use Afterblast from Eastwood. You can even use POR 15's metal prep. It's the same, basically all the same stuff. So it chemically etches it, but it's ready to go. You can weld through it and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and mock it up in the car. I did make one modification, which is I removed that tab. It was hitting the body mount. So I'll show you that when I get it mocked up. But man, this is coming together, and yeah, this is thick. This is 1/4 inch. I probably could have gotten away with 3/16, but it is super sturdy. I can't wait. Let's go throw it in. There we are, mocked up. So I know I'm 90 degrees with that to this side surface, which was the plan. And we have enough welding space here, tiny gap, weld, weld, weld. And then this is the area I told you about. See there's the rubber mount. So I cut that out just straight across to that existing rivet, and it fits perfectly. So pretty excited that fit without a lot of cutting or grinding or modifying. I'm gonna go ahead and mock up the other side to make sure we're symmetric and get to cleaning and welding. So the next step, I should show you the finished welded in product. Oh yeah, there she is, welded in and painted. That's POR 15. Man, that's looking good. Now let's go ahead and mock up the coilover and make sure we planned ahead correctly for the reservoir. Oh yes, we are in. I love it. Found a new spot for this too, easy to get at. Obviously jack up the car to get to that, but you have to do it anyway. Nice freedom of movement here. And man, this is getting exciting. Almost back to getting on the road. Now let's go hit the workbench, show you how long that CAD workup took and the whole project, including welding, painting, and everything. Let's do it. There we have it. That does not include CAD. CAD was about 3 hours basically in total. And yeah, so take that number, almost 10 hours, multiply by $100 if you're on a low budget shop, or multiply by $200, which is the new going rate to get your work done by someone else, including CAD work. CAD work can go up to $300 an hour. So yeah, it's nice to learn it on your own and save all that labor. So I hope you guys learned a lot this episode. I sure did. There's always something new in the CAD world, and I can't wait to do some more projects I have lined up. And one will be a significant adder and boost. Anyway, did I say that out loud? Next episode, we can finally put the Currie rear end in for good, but we're gonna measure for wheel size. Remember, we're going to 335 tires, and I already own the tire, and let's mock it up and see how to measure for wheels. So thanks for hanging out. Subscribe if you haven't. Get a hat, get a shirt, links are below. Support the channel, and we can go from there. Building fast, driving faster. See ya.